Hello everyone, ARG back with some more Franchise Hockey Manager 9, and today we have the first month of the 1982-1983 NHL season, where we are going to continue playing as the Hartford Whalers. Not a whole lot to bring up other than I tried to make some trades using the rights to Brett Hall, and as I found out, having the rights to a player is worth almost nothing until you sign them to a contract. So no trades incoming. I made a trade last time, alright? I traded Gilles Gilbert for a 7th round draft pick to the Rangers. Signed a few free agents, and we have the waiver draft coming. I'm more than likely going to be looking into getting a defenseman again. It's kind of like what I did last year with Pierre Bouchard. Now, of course, Pierre Bouchard wasn't like all that great for us or anything, but he was a warm body in a jersey playing the blue line, and at this point, that's pretty much what I'm looking for. Alright, so we're going to have our work cut out for us. It's going to be another tough season. The Montreal Canadiens are almost unbeatable. I have played 3 full seasons so far, and they have won the cup every single time. And that's the first team we're going to face in the regular season, and it's going to be on the road too, so it's going to be a little tough there. We have Rob Ramage, that's day-to-day, he should be fine. We have some team harmony issues. I mean, that's, always that needs to be toned down. It's a little crazy. Alright, and the New Jersey Devils are there, so they moved in from Colorado. And let's take a look at the team that I have selected to be there to start the season. So I think we have a decent team. We're not world beaters, but we are definitely not too bad. Jim Martinson made the team. His 18 mental is crazy, so I'm hoping that it's going to help carry him to many victories for the Whalers. We're going to have John Garrett as well. He's starting to decline. I'm still waiting for Mike Vernon to be ready. Now I've signed him. He's in the minors. I'm waiting for him to develop enough that I can have him on the team. Alright, so Paul Coffey, of course. Tapio Levo that I signed as a free agent, so hopefully he can play alright. Gordy Roberts is still with us. Darren Veitch, of course. Tommy Samuelson, the other free agent that I signed during the offseason. Rob Ramage, Jay Wells. Then Randy Kennyworth made the team out of camp, so we'll see if he can contribute a little bit. Mark Messier, of course. Anton Stastny. Rick Aduono has been decent for us. He had a 52-point season last year. That's pretty good because in real life I think he played 4 games in the NHL or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, he played 4 games in his career in the NHL. So definitely that's one of the players that I like to call a surprise, right? Because I don't use recalc, I use the engine in the game to develop players. So that's a good example that sometimes players will develop past what they did in real life when you use the engine. That's why I use it. It's to have guys like Rick Aduono that come out of nowhere and play decent for you. I mean, he's not a superstar, but he plays all right. So pretty happy with that. Matty Hagman is still with us. A little bit disappointed with Matty Hagman. I was hoping for maybe a little bit more. I mean, 43 points in 67 games is not too bad, but with the offense that we had last season, it's maybe a little bit underwhelming. Bernie Johnston is still there. I think we're about to move on from Bernie Johnston, so I might put him by the trade deadline. I might put him on the block and see what happens with him. Dave Poulin has started to play better. Peter Stastny, fantastic first season. Brent Sutter, Glenn Anderson, Bo Berglund. So Craig Laughlin is finally going to be making the team. We'll see what he does. That's about where in real life where he had some decent seasons for a few years. So we'll see what happens with that. Wolf Payment had an awesome season last season. Hopefully he can do the same. And Marian Stashny new addition. I was like, why not add the other brother? And here we are. That's gonna be our team. So we're gonna go ahead and start advancing here and see who it is that we can get in the waiver draft. Are we gonna find a gem in there? Probably not, but who knows. Oh, the click broke up. Alright, that's good. Right, and the orders are shopping Al Hamilton. Alright, so all of those players are feeling more comfortable with the team. Alright, submit protection lists. We don't really do that. Alright, so the 1982 NHL preview. So with the National Hockey League season about to get underway, the early Stanley Cup favorites appear to be Montreal again. We're going to need to break that trend. It's getting a little bit annoying. Being somebody that cannot stand the Habs, it's been a little bit painful for me to, make this series so far. Led by winger Bob Gainey, general manager Irving Grunman has built a squad that will be the team to beat this year, but they can expect challenges from Bill Torrey's New York Islanders, and Minnesota featuring winger Zino Ciccarelli, one of my favorites as a kid. Among the dark horses, St. Louis stands out as a possible challenger with a big season by Mike Liut, capable of pushing them into contender status. Scoring race will likely see Edmonton's Wayne Gretzky challenged by Mike Bossy of New York and Calgary's Kent Nilsson. The top defenseman in the league is generally considered to be New York Islanders blue liner Denis Potvin, with Boston's Ray Bourque and Larry Robinson of Montreal also in the running. Finally, among goaltenders, Vancouver's Glenn Hanlon stands out as the league's best, while St. Louis Blues netminder Mike Liut and Grant Fuhr of Winnipeg can also steal games for their teams. Alright, so note that we are nowhere in there. Nobody considers us for nothing, as usual. Alright. The waiver draft. Oh, Gilles Meloche. Yeah, he's a little bit old, though. Doug Soutart. Alright. Let's see here. A lot of goaltenders this year to pick from. Right, we're gonna do pick until you man. It's the waiver draft. It's not as exciting as the rookie draft. So, right, so Dave Burrows was picked up from the Montreal Canadiens, the Islanders, and then the Blues picked up Cam Connor from the Buffalo Sabres. I'd like a defenseman, but I think that the Islanders picked up the only one. Oh, no, he wasn't even all that great. Oh, no, he is. He's on the... Okay. Yeah, I could have used this guy, probably. Let's put a filter on. Okay, I already looked at Tim Bothwell, Dave Hutchison. Oh, okay, he's on. Okay, maybe this guy. And then Greg Theberge. Oh god, I know nothing about this guy. That would be a shot in the dark. What do they say here? Hey Kel, good morning. What's up, buddy? Alright, so he was picked by the... Okay. Okay, so he's more of an offensive defenseman. Oh boy. Do I take a flyer on this guy, or do I go with a Chison, which is a little bit more of a known commodity? I mean, he's 23. Maybe he's gonna get a little bit better. Oh. Oh, he did have a few decent seasons in real life. I'll take a flyer on this guy. There you go. Oh, Gilles Meloche goes to the Nordiques. Jim Craig goes to the Canucks. Doug Sotart to the North Stars. And yes, I know I've been having issues with goaltending as well, but I feel confident with Martinson. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see what happens with that. Oh, Markow signed a 2-year extension with the Oilers. Then there's been a trade. Oh, Keith Crowder goes to Philadelphia for Pelle Lindbergh. Wow. Okay, that's a decent trade. I kind of like that one. All right. I agree. Sure, you can have number 17. That's fine. Oh! Before I forget. Now, I had forgotten last time to roll a random number to see if I needed to make a trade, and I finally did. And I rolled a 86. I don't have anybody wearing number 86, so I am not forced into a trade for this season. There's no getting rid of Peter Stastny or anything crazy like that. Thankfully. So how is your Panthers season going, Kel? How are you doing with the Panthers? Did you trade Victor Kozlov after all? Alright, so let's take a look at that Theberge guy that I claim. Where is he? He's nowhere to be found. Okay. Oh, do I just have the rights? Is that what's going on? Yeah, okay, I just got the rights for him. I guess I should sign him, huh? There you go. Once he signs, I'm going to... oh, he signed already, so... now I should have a... okay, he can play. Alright. That's good. Alright, so that was a kind of a risk that I took, but he actually can play. Does that mean that I send Tommy Samuelson down? I think I might, because if I try to send Greg Theberge down, he's going to have to clear waivers. Tommy Samuelson doesn't have to. Alright, so Tommy Samuelson is going to be my first call-up for sure. Oh, Darren Veitch also doesn't need to clear waivers. Okay. Yeah, we're going to send Samuelson down for now. There's a place for you on the team. Injuries are bound to happen. Sekou Koivu shouldn't be too bad defensively. I think Miko Koivu was probably a better two-way player than Sekou, but Sekou wasn't bad. Oh, all of those guys have been put on waivers. Ron Lowe, Eddie Mio, Gary Edwards, Doug Sotart, who was just picked up on, and then Greg Shepard. I don't need Doug Sotart, do I? 14, 17, that's very close to my guy. I'm gonna go with my guy that I signed. I'm gonna trust him. Brett Callaghan extends his goal streak to 5 games. Alright, so the season is underway, just not for us yet. He had a goal and an assist against the Flames. And Mike Bossy extends his point streak to 33 games with a goal against the Canucks. Oh, the Islanders here starting against Western teams. Alright, so we are about to play the Montreal Canadiens here. Of course, they haven't played either, so no record to look at. Let's take a look at their... Oh, they have a few injuries that might help us. Guy Lafleur is hurt, so he's not going to play. Guy Carbonneau is hurt, he's not going to play. And Mario Faubert is hurt, he's also not going to play. So a bunch of decent players are hurt here. And Borje Salming came to camp unfit. Alright, so that might also help us. Alright, so Montreal has Patrick Ginn and Bob Sauve in net. They have Brian Engblom, Long Robinson, Salming, Lane, Langway, and Doug Lidster on D. And up front they have Aaron Broughton, Bob Gagné, Régent Houle, Yvon Lambert, Matt Naslund, Walt Podobny, Doug Jarvis, Merrick Flockhart, Jeffrey Johnston, Murphy, Blaine Stockton, and Mario Tremblay. Alright, so still a pretty solid team, but maybe it looks maybe not as strong as in the previous years. So who knows, maybe we do stand a chance. Right, so let's take a look at our lineup for the first game of the season. Stachny is going to be playing with Mark Messier. Peter Stachny is going to be playing with Mark Messier and Wolf Payment. Matty Agman with Anton Stachny and Glenn Anderson. So the Stachny brothers all play on different lines. Rick Aduano with Randy Cunneyworth and Marianne Stachny. And then Dave Poulin with Bernie Johnston and Brent Sutter. So keep in mind we are finally into 20-player lineups. Paul Coffey is going to be playing with Jay Wells. Remember that Rob Ramage is hurt. Gordy Roberts with Darren Veitch. And Levo is going to play with Greg Theberge. Right, so John Garrett is going to start. I thought that Martinson might be our starting goaltender, but looks like we're going to go with old trusty John Garrett. He's going to be facing Pat Riggin. That's the start of a new season. Of course, go Whalers, go. And... let's see here. Oh, doesn't start all that great. We lost 6-1 for the first game against, the defending Stanley Cup champions in their building. Yikes. Oh, we outshot them to 35-31. Régent Houle was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Pat Riggin was the second star with 34 saves. And Doug Jarvis was the third star with 2 goals. Previous Iron Man Doug Jarvis, who was beaten by Phil Kessel. Alright, so Montreal scored first in the first period, and we had a fight between Doug Lidster and Mark Messier. Then in the second period, Montreal added 2 goals, 3-0 Montreal after 2. In the third period, they made it 4-0. Then Peter Stachny scored from Mark Messier and Greg Theberge. It was 4-1 Montreal. They added 2 more goals. We had a fight between Rod Langway and Randy Cunneyworth, and that was pretty much that. Not a great start to the season, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Phil Meyer on waivers from the Flyers. Peter Stachny extends his point streak to 18 games with that goal against the Habs. Brian Propp extends his goal streak to 5 games with a goal against the Buffalo Sabres. Oh, Flyers claim Doug Sotart on waivers. And Rob Ramage feeling better. We have 2 days off, and then we're going to have our home opener against the Bruins. Alright, so Bob Fickner and Bob Murdoch have been put on waivers, both from the Penguins. Mike Bussey extends his point streak to 34 games with a goal and an assist against the Flames. Kent Nilsson extends his point streak to 12 games. In that same game, he had an assist. Red light stays on for Keith Crowder with his new team. Scored a hat trick against the Quebec Nordiques. And Rob Ramage on the brink of returning. He might come back for the game against Boston. That'd be great. Mike Bussey extends his point streak to 35 games. He had an assist against the Oilers. Brett Callaghan extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal in that same game. Rob Ramage says that he's ready. That's great. And Guy Lapointe has been put on the block by the Leafs. He was acquired a few seasons ago from Montreal. Alright, I'm gonna need a quick second here. Alright, we are back, and we are going to be hosting the Bruins. Bruins are 0-1, that's good for 7th to the conference. Most teams have played only like 1 game, so that's not saying much. Let's take a look at their lineup. No injuries to speak of except for Mark Napier. He's day-to-day, so he may or may not play. Right, the Bruins have Paul Harrison and Pelle Lindbergh in net. On D, they have Brad McCrimmon, Brad Park. They have Smith, Barrett, Bork, Milbury, and Nicholson. Up front, they have FJ's favorite, Mike Krushelinski. They have Rowe, they have Secker, they have Settlebauer, they have Fergus, Miller, Riseborough, Valentine, Luce, Holmgren, Middleton, Napier, O'Reilly, and Plett. Alright, hopefully we can beat the Bruins. We're at home. Alright. Paul Harrison's going to be... Yes, I am playing GM only. Paul Harrison is going to be in net for the Bruins. Jim Marthinson is going to make his NHL debut in net for us. Go Whalers, go! A 5-3 victory over the Bruins. Jim Marthinson winning his first NHL game. A nice 5-3 victory. We outshot Boston 38-29. Anton Stastny was the first of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Rick Middleton was the second star with a goal. And Darren Veitch was the third star with 2 assists. 9,827 people in attendance. I'm still like 6,000 people short. Like, my arena owes 15,000 something. So I don't know what to do. Maybe I need to get Wayne Gretzky to draw people. Alright, so Boston scored first in the first period. Then in the second period, Anton Stastny tied the game from Rick Aduano and Darren Veitch. Then Boston took the lead again. Then we tied the game again. It was Glenn Anderson from Anton Stastny and Dave Poulin. Then Boston took the lead again. Then we went into the third period. Matty Agman tied the game on the power play from Wolf Payment and Darren Veitch. Then Mark Missy from Wolf Payment. And then finally Gordy Roberts from Rob Ramage and Bo Berglund. 5-3. I did notice that Peter Stastny did not get a point in this game. So his streak is going to end, sadly. And we had a fight between Rob Ramage and Brad Park. Oh, Greg Teberge is injured. Alright, so the guy that we picked up on waivers might be gone for a while. I don't know for how long. Oh, 1 to 2 months. Alright, so Tommy Samuelson is already going to be recalled. Alright, so he has an elbow sprain. He's going to miss a little while here. Peter Stastny's point streak ended at 18 games. As we say, didn't get a point against Boston. Maris Lukovic has a strong game. He had 4 goals against the Red Wings. Kent Nilsson extends his point streak to 13 games with a goal and an assist against the Kings. And Bob Mano in Vancouver is suspended. He's going to miss 6 games. Let's put Greg Teberge on the injury list. And we're going to go and get Tommy Samuelson. I really don't have a whole lot of players down here. Alright, and now we're in Buffalo playing the Sabres. Sabres are 0-1-1. That's good for 9th in the conference. Let's take a look at the Sabres here. No injuries for Buffalo. They are very healthy. Jacques Cloutier and Goran Augusta, in net. Dunn, Corab, McEwen, Schoenfield, Ash, Murray, Playfair, Ramsey, and Van Boxmeer on D. Up front they have Amel, Martin, Ramsey, Guichard, Acton, Larouche, Perrault, Sauvé-Savard, Guerre, Islop, and Rick Sealing. Hopefully we can win this. It's on the road. Might be a little bit tougher. Alright, so John Garrett in net for the Waiters, Jacques Cloutier in net for the Sabres. Of course, go Waiters, go. Oh, our first road victory of the season, a 6-4 victory over the Sabres in Buffalo. Shots were even 41 apiece. Oh, Tapio Levo that I got as a free agent had a pretty good game. First star, 3 assists. That's Bob Murray was the second star with 2 goals, and Anton Stastny was the third star with 2 goals and an assist. So Buffalo scored first, then we tied the game. It was Peter Stastny from Glenn Anderson and Rob Ramage. Then Buffalo scored again, took the lead, and then we took the lead. Anton Stastny scored from Matty Agman and Tapio Levo, and then Wilf Payman from Anton Stastny and Paul Coffey, 3-2 Hartford after 1. Then in the second period, Mark Missy scored from Tapio Levo and Rob Ramage, and then Gordy Roberts from Paul Coffey and Peter Stastny. It was 5-2 after 2. Then in the third period, Buffalo scored twice, came to within 1, but then Anton Stastny scored in an empty net with 22 seconds left to go in the game from Tapio Levo and Gordy Roberts. It was a 6-4 victory. Alright. Gordy Roberts converts to right defense. Why? You shoot left. I mean, that's fine, but I have plenty of righties. Oh well. You try to balance that stuff and your coach is just, on meth or something. And that's what happens. Alright, so we have 4 days off and then we're going to be hosting the Edmonton Oilers. Mike Bussey extends his point streak to 36 games. He had an assist against the Rangers. Mike Bussey is, as usual, unstoppable. He is so good in this save. Kent Nilsson's point streak ended at 13 games. Didn't get a point against the Oilers. Mike Milbury is hurt in Boston. He's going to miss 5 months. Oh, yeah, that's... You're out for a while. And then Doug Risebrough is suspended in Boston. He's going to miss 2 games. Rick Keogh has achieved 300 goals in his career. He had a goal and an assist against Vancouver. Rick Keogh is 31 years old and he is a 2.5-star player. All right, 1 more day off. Dynamic passing leads to productive night for Ron Duguay with the Rangers. He had 5 assists against the Flyers. Yeah, that's a pretty good game. Then the Oilers are offering me something. François Lacombe for Denis again. Guess what? The first 4 times you offered me that trade, I said no. Guess what I'm going to say this time? No. Maybe I should go into their roster and set François Lacombe to not interested so that they stop doing that shit to me. Alright, so we are playing the Oilers. They are in town. They are 2-1-1 this season. Alright, they have one injury. That's Stan Weir, so he's not going to play. Other than that, they have Al Smith and Yuri Serra in net. Mark out Charlie Oddy, Kevin Lowe, Pat Price, Al Hamilton, Langevin, and Siltanen on D. Up front, they have Kelligan Gavin, Hunter Smith, Chipperfield, Wayne Gretzky, McClanahan, Weir, Wilson, Killer, Akan Lube, McDonald, Bob Nistrom, and Zanussi. So Akan Lube that I included in the trade to get Paul Coffey, Glenn Anderson, and Mark Messier. All right, let's play this game. Al Smith in net, our old former goaltender. Al Smith in net for Edmonton. Jim Martinson in net for us. Go Whalers, go! Oh, we lost 5-1 on home ice. I'm pretty sure Wayne Gretzky had something to do with that. We were outshot 37-26. Brett Callaghan was the first star of the game. He had a hat trick. Hakan Lube was the second star with a goal, and Langevin was the third star with an assist. So we had 9,149 people in attendance for this game. Oilers scored 4 goals in the first period, and that was pretty much it. We were done for after that. Nobody scored in the second period. We had a fight between Jay Wells and Dave Hunter. Then in the third period, Edmonton scored again. It was 5-0, and then Dave Poulin scored from Gordy Roberts and Bo Berglund, and you know that was the game right there. A 5-1 loss. That happens. Rick Aduano improves that left wing. Okay. And Brett Callaghan, as we saw, had a great game. He had a hat trick against us. 2 days off, and then we're going to be hosting the Vancouver Canucks. Ooh, Mike Bussy's point streak ended at 36 games. He was held scoreless against the Pittsburgh Penguins. And Randy Old's suspension ended in Philadelphia. He's back in the lineup over there. Alright, Islanders have put Billy Harris on the block. And now we are hosting the Vancouver Canucks. They are 3-2 this season. Oh, they have a couple things going on here. Alright, so first off, Yeri Gillis is not going to play. He's hurt. Jamie McCown is also not going to play. He's hurt. Bob Mano is still suspended, so he's not going to play. And then Brent Ashton is day-to-day with an injury. Other than that, the Canucks have Glenn Hanlon and Jim Craig in net. McCown, Manos, Schneps, Dale Talon, Daley Lindgren, and McCarthy on D. Up front, they have Ashton Beers, Hamilton, Andy Otto, Derlago, Butch Goring, Graydon, Ludzik, Dave Barr, Blight, Callender, Foster, Rick Vive, and Dirk Graham. I think we have a shot to winning this. Canucks are going to go with Glenn Hanlon in net. We're going to go with Jim Martinson. And of course, come on, Hartford. Let's win on home ice here. A 7-7 tie. Ooh, who cares about defense? All right, so we were outshot 48-31. Darren Veitch was the first of the game. He had 2 goals and 2 assists. Bill Derlago was the... I still get confused with Brad Dalgarno. I guess my brain has just been, conditioned to see those letters and just see, Dalgarno. Bill Derlago was the second star with a hat trick. And then Peter Stastny was the third star with a goal and an assist. 9,427 people in attendance for this game. Rick Aduano opened up the scoring from Brent Sutter and Tapio Olivo. Then Vancouver scored twice. They were up 2-1. Then we scored twice. It was Darren Veitch from Rob Ramage and Anton Stachny, then Peter Stachny from Wilf Payment and Darren Veitch. We were up 3-2, then Vancouver tied the game, and then we took the lead again. Matty Hagman from Glenn Anderson and Anton Stachny. We were up 4-3 after one. Then in the second period, Darren Veitch scored on the power play from Paul Coffey and Mark Messier, then Vancouver scored twice to tie the game. Then we took the lead again. Wilf Payment from Paul Coffey and Peter Stachny, 6-5 Hartford after 2. Then in the third period, Vancouver tied the game again. We took the lead again. Gordy Roberts from Matty Hagman and Darren Veitch. But then Vancouver tied the game yet again. And then that held. And that was a beautiful 7-7 nightmare for a coach tie. Oh, now I don't like to see that. Paul Coffey is hurt. Hopefully he's only day to day. Oh shit. He has a fractured wrist. I can have him play with the injury. I'm not. It's early in the season. I'm not gonna do that. So let's say no. No one could stop Bill Derlago, as we say, he had a hat-trick against us, and Bill Derlago with that hat-trick as goals in 5 straight games. So we're down 2 defensemen early in the season. We are being tested. Alright, so Paul Coffey, you go on the injured list. That's going to hurt us, for sure. Nobody can replace Paul Coffey on my team. Yeah, give me a second. Alright, so I am going to recall... shit, I don't know. Kitchen is usually the guy that I recall at this point. So we're going to recall him. He has enough stats to be able to play in the NHL, I believe. Yeah. He's still able, he's not great, but he's capable. And Wilf Payments, individual stats, there you go. Individual attributes, sorry. I don't know, I'd play him as a power forward instead of a speedy forward, but, you know, I'm not the coach, so... Alright, so hopefully that was long enough. His IS roll is 14 as a power forward. And that's because he's lost some attributes like during the off season. He used to be not as a GM only, no. I'm only a GM, so I don't get to pick the roles, so... But he's 14 as a power forward and 14 as a grinder, but... he played as a power forward at 15 all of last season, and he had 123 points. Alright, so we have 4 days off, and then we're going to be heading west to play against the Oilers without Paul Coffey. Doug Riceborough is back from suspension in Boston. Bobby Smith is hurt in Minnesota. He's going to miss 3 weeks. Excellent passing leads to productive night for Rio Rustalainen. He had 4 assists against the Kings. And a strong night for Pierre Larouche. He had a goal and 4 assists against the Washington Capitals. Alright. A strong night for Doug Wilson in Chicago. He had 4 assists against the Red Wings. Dynamic passing leads to a productive night for Ron Greschner in New York for the Rangers. 5 assists against the Kings. In a good game for Larry Murphy in that same game, he had a goal and 4 assists. It was an 8-8 tie. once again. Alright, so there was no stopping Kent Nilsson. He had 3 goals and an assist against the Boston Bruins. Bill Derlago extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal against the Islanders. And we are now in Edmonton to play against the Oilers. We did play them not too long ago here, so we're not going to look at their lineup. We lost 5-1 on home ice. The Oilers are now 3-3-1. So let's see if we can beat them on the road. They beat us at home. Maybe we can beat them on the road. Let's see. John Garrett is in net for the Whalers. Al Smith in net for the Oilers. Come on, Whalers. Let's enact revenge here. We lost 5-3. Alright, so we are playing under 500. Of course, losing Paul Coffey hurts. Edmonton has outshot us 43-34 in that game. Siltanen was the first star of the game. He had 3 assists. Wilf Payment was the second star with 2 goals. And Mark Howe, former Whaler, was the third star with 2 assists. Alright, so Oilers open up the scoring in the first, then Wilf Payment tied the game from Dave Poulin and Bill Kitchen, then the Oilers scored again, and then we tied the game again. Wilf Payment from Peter Stastny and Anton Stastny 2-2 after 1. Then the Oilers scored 2 goals in the second period. It was 4-2. Then in the third period, Marian Stastny scored from Darren Veitch and Randy Kennywart, made it 4-3 Edmonton. But they added a goal in an empty net, and that was that for us. And there was a fight between Derek Smith and Wilf Payment. Alright, not a whole lot of time to feel sorry for ourselves. We played the very next day in Calgary. Detroit's Webster suspended, so Tom Webster in Detroit is going to miss 7 games with a suspension. Derlago is hurt in Vancouver. He was on a goal streak. He's out for 4 weeks. And before he was hurt, he extended his goal streak to 7 games with a goal. That all happened against the Rangers. Alright, in Calgary to play the Flames. Flames are 3-3-2. We need a win to at least play for 400. Right, so Gary McAdam is hurt, not gonna play. Serge Baudouin also hurt and not gonna play. Everybody else is healthy. Dan Bouchard and Denis Héron in net. Baker, Baudouin, Bromwell, Marsh, Redmond, Reinhardt, and Grant Ledyard, Baxter, Lance, and Shand on the... Wow, that's a lot of defensemen. And up front, they have LaRose, Schott, Vale, Boldyrev, Lalonde, Nilsson, Anderson, Houston, McMillan, Piplinski, and Rota. And so Kent Nilsson, of course, is their best offensive player, so hopefully we can kind of counter him a little. Alright. Jim Martinson in net for the Whalers. Dan Bouchard in net for the Flames. Go Whalers, go, come on. Let's play for 500. Give me a road win here. Nope, we lost 3-1. So early trouble for the Whalers in this season. Hopefully we can turn it around, but yeah. We were, we outshot Calgary 37-33. McMillan was the first star of the game. He had 2 assists. Craig Laughlin was the second star with an assist. And Dan Bouchard was the third star with 36 saves. Sorry. Anton Stastny. Anton Stastny opened up the scoring in the first from Peter Stastny and Craig Laughlin. 1-0 Whalers after 1. Flames scored twice in the second period. It was 2-1 Calgary after 2. Then they added 1 more goal in the third period. It was a 3-1 loss. Not a whole lot to talk about here other than the fact that we lost. And now Wilf Payment is hurt because, you know, when things are going bad, they just get worse. How long is he hurt for? Oh, he's day-to-day. Alright. Not the end of the world. Look at that. Okay, so this is another thing that is crazy to me with this version of the game. So he's day to day with a 6-stitch facial cut, right? Fine. Let's leave that. Now let's go ahead and check here. Okay, he's unable to play. He has a 6-stitch cut in his face, and he cannot play. Paul Coffey had a fractured wrist, and I was given the option to have him play. How does that make any sense at all? I would love for somebody to enlighten me about that. Blaine Stockton extends his goal streak to 5 games. He had a goal against the Flyers. And Islanders and Sabres confirm a deal. Chico Resch and Yuka Tammy go to the Sabres for Richie Dunn and the rights to Nelson Burton. Yes, Buffalo decided they needed some goaltending. Alright, we are heading to LA. We're not doing all that great, folks. It's a rough start to the season. Richard Brodeur has been put on the block by the Sabres. Alright, so we are in LA. Kings have the exact same record as us, 2-4-1. Except that they are LT and we are not. So Kelly Rudy and Rick Wamsley in net for the Kings. Gibbs, Allward, Angsleben, Manta, Turner, RD, Manry, and Palmer, and Al McInnes. Oh, that's probably gonna make JT Dutch happy to see that his Kings picked up Al McInnes. I'm sure he's not gonna object to that unless for some reason he hates him. I wouldn't think so, but who knows. All right, so. Yeah, up front they have Goldup, Jensen, Wilson, Mullen, Apps, Carlson, Marcel Dion, Pierre Mondu, Polic, Saint Laurent, Schmil, and Dave Taylor. It's probably the best version of the Kings that we have seen since I started this save here. But we need a W bad. John Garrett is going to be in net for us. Rick Wamsley is going to be in net for the Kings. Come on, Waiters. Oh yeah, 6-0 victory on the road here. We needed that. We outshot the Kings 47-27. John Garrett was the first star of the game, 27 saves, shutout victory. Mark Messier was the second star with a hat trick, and Tommy Samuelson was the third star with 3 assists. So Mark Messier opened up the scoring in the first from Tommy Samuelson and Peter Stastny. Then in the second period, Mark Messier scored from Randy Conneward and Rob Ramage. Anton Stastny scored his 5th of the season from Tommy Samuelson and Gordy Roberts. Then Mark Messier scored his 5th as well from Rob Ramage and Peter Stastny. 4-0 Hartford after 2. Jay Wells scored in the third period from Tommy Samuelson and Peter Stastny. And finally Brent Sutter from Anton Stastny and Bo Berglund. 6-0 the final score. We needed that. We needed that. Mark Messier has a strong game. As we said, he had a hat trick. And then Bob Mano is back in the lineup in Vancouver after serving his suspension. All right, 2 days off, and then we're going to go in Vancouver to play against the Canucks. Barry Peterson in Chicago is suspended. He's going to miss 7 games. And Wilf Payments is feeling better from his little cut in his face. Meanwhile, Paul Coffey was willing to play with a broken wrist. All right, Kel. Well, good luck on your midterm, and have a good day. Thank you for the company. All right. So, Hartford in Vancouver now. Now the Canucks are 3-3-3. Let's see if we can beat them. We had a tie against them, 7-7 on home ice. Let's see if we can beat them on the road. John Garrett is in net for us. Glenn Hanlon in net for Vancouver. Go, Waiters, go. Let's play 500. I'd like that. A 4-1 victory. Now the Waiters are playing 500 hockey all of a sudden. We outshot Vancouver 41-22. Randy Cunneyworth was the first star of the game. He had a goal and an assist. Matty Agman was the second star with an assist, and Bo Berglund was the third star with a goal. Vancouver scored the first goal of the game. Then we scored 3 unanswered after that. Mark Messier from Matty Agman and Glenn Anderson. Randy Cunneyworth from Marian Stachny and Dave Poulin. And then Anton Stachny from Bernie Johnston and Glenn Anderson. 3-1 Hartford after 1. Then in the third period, Bo Berglund scored from Darren Veitch and Randy Cunneyworth. And that was a 4-1 victory. And I believe we have only one game left here in October. Yeah, in 3 days. We're going to be playing at home. Tom Gorrance has been put on waivers by the Flyers. Jim Fox will miss 4 months. So in real life, Jim Fox played for the Kings. He is playing for the Minnesota North Stars here in my universe. He has a concussion. Lanny McDonald has a memorable game for the Leafs. 3 goals and an assist against the Nordiques. Greg Teberge is starting to feel better. That's good. We don't want injuries. Right, with payment back sooner rather than later, that'd be great. A good night for Yari Curry with the Red Wings. He had a hat-trick against the Minnesota North Stars. Dave Lumley extends his go streak to 5 games with a goal against the Devils. Wilf Payment almost recovered. There was a trade between the Detroit Red Wings and the Boston Bruins. Phil Bork, I thought it was Ray Bork for a second there. Phil Bork and Tim Bothwell are going to Boston for Tom Fergus and Frank Negro. That's an interesting trade. Alright, one more day off. Alright, so Dave Hutchison has been put on waivers by the Flyers. I debated getting that guy. I kind of glad that I got Teberge instead. With payment is ready to go, that's good. We need him in the lineup. Mike Murphy has been put on the block by Montreal. And then we have a trade proposal from the Leafs. Jim Aldred for Stuart Smith. I think they have offered me that before, and I'm pretty sure that I said no. So we're gonna say no again. Alright, Red Wings are in town. Red Wings are 2-7-2. We have not played them this season. Let's take a look at their lineup. Right, so Pete Maravlich is hurt, he's not gonna play, and then Jim Korn is also hurt and not gonna play. Everybody else is LT, although Tom Webster, is suspended. So Réjean Hamelin and Al Jensen in net. On D they have Anson, Barnes, Yedor, Huber, Larson, O'Callaghan. Up front, they have John Ogrodnik, Thompson Woods, Robbie Starrick, Dale McCourt, Doug Gilmore, Laurie Boschman, Tom Fergus, Mike Foligno, Yari Curry, LeBratton, Lyle, Sawkins, Webster, and Ponyo. There's some talent in Detroit. Can we beat them? They're not doing good this year, so that would be nice to beat them. And it's on home ice, so that's a game that we cannot really afford to lose. With a victory here, we're going to be above 500 for the month of October. I would like that very much. So we'll see if that happens. Reggie Lemley in net for Detroit. John Garrett in net for the Whalers. And of course, go Whalers, go! We lost 4-1. So now we are 1 game under 500 for the month of October. That's really not ideal. Detroit outshot us 34-33. Mike Foligno was the first star of the game. He had 2 goals. Réjean Hamelin was the second star with 32 saves. And Thompson was the third star with 2 assists, 9,586 people in attendance for the game. Anton Stastny opened up the scoring in the first from Matty Agman and Wilf Payment. And then Detroit scored twice. It was 2-1 Detroit after one. They scored 2 more goals in the second period. It was 4-1. And that's all you need to know. Well, Wilf Payment is hurt again. That's nice. He's day-to-day again. Alright, so... Alright, a mild groin strain. Mike Eves extends his assist streak to 8 games with an assist against the Devils. Dave Lumley extends his goal streak to 6 games with a goal in that same game. Charlie Simmer extends his point streak to 12 games. He had 2 goals and an assist in that same game still. Alright, there's counting. Alright, so we are going to sim one more day. So we are on November 1st. Alright, so Thomas Eriksson with the Flyers got suspended. He's going to miss 7 games. Gotta wonder what those guys are doing to get big suspensions like that. I mean, in current day NHL, you can like literally break somebody's leg and maybe you're going to get 2 games. Tim Kerr has a memorable game in that same game. He had 3 goals and 2 assists. That was against the Jets. Top-selling Hartford Whalers jerseys for October: Greg Teberge, Wilf Payment, Peter Stastny, Mark Messier, and John Garrett. So again, we see the newcomer for the month sells the most jersey type of thing going because he's a newcomer. I guess people are all going to throw them at themselves at the store to get a jersey from him. Doesn't really make sense, but it is what it is. Alright, that I like to look at. Alright, so Anders Carlson getting some aggression. Denis Seal, same thing. Tony Fiore fighting and puck handling. Claude Loisel, some acceleration and passing. Newberry. Okay. Oh, Mike Vernon is now a full star. Glenn Anderson got a point of team play. Oh, he's a 3.5 star now. Alright, so he's getting a little bit more towards where I felt that he should be. Randy Cunnyworth is now a 2.5 star. Wow. He gained a full star this month. Oh, and Brent Sutter is a full 3 stars now. Yeah, Wilf Payment is getting worse. Oh, Tommy Samuelson as well. That's not good. Okay. The most jerseys sold in the entire NHL, Mark Howe of Edmonton, then Wayne Gretzky. And the players of the month in the NHL were Ben Wilson and Pete Peters. Ooh, Ben Wilson had 18 points in 13 games as a defenseman. Wow. Then Pete Peters is also playing for Philadelphia. The Flyers were 10-1-2 this month. Wow. That's quite the turnaround for the Flyers. They haven't been all that great so far, but yeah. Alright, so a little bit of a disappointing month, folks. We are 8 in the conference out of 11 teams. Hopefully we can get healthy and do better. Well, Paul Coffey is still showing 1 to 2 months, and he's been there for a while. That's not good. That's not good, folks. So Yeah, the worst teams in the league are the Kings and the Capitals with 5 points each. Although the Capitals is worse, they have only one win. Let's take a look at our stats. It's a little disappointing. We haven't been scoring that many goals. But Anton Stashny is over a point per game, 13 points in 10 games. His brother Peter is a point per game, 10 and 10. Messi has 8 points in 10 games, 8 and 8 for payment. And then Veitch, with Paul Coffey hurt, Darren Veitch is our best offensive defenseman. He has 8 points in 10 games. Then it goes down from there. Definitely going to need to be scoring more goals. That is not enough. It's not enough. Let's take a look in the entire NHL. The best goal scorer is Wayne Gretzky, tied with Dave Lumley. Best passer is Ron Duguay with Mike Eaves, 15 assists each. Best scorer is Wayne Gretzky with 26 points. Dino Ciccarelli and Ron Duguay follow with 22 points each. So I guess that Mike Bussey kind of slowed down, huh? Oh, Larry Robinson, 2 short-handed goals already this season. So we're not really anywhere except for Matty Agman is among the leaders for face-off percentage. So at least something's going for us. Hey, he's not too bad this year. 6 points in 10 games. That's good. And he's good on the face-offs. Good for him. I was a little disappointed with him. Alright, we're going to go ahead and save the game. I'm also going to go ahead and stop here for this time. So, as usual, I do want to thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this on YouTube, like the video, you know what to do. But for now, it's ARG out. So, peace out, folks. See you later.